it's Jasmine. Welcome to my cooking channel. I'm going to be sharing some recipes I enjoy making for my family and friends. Majority of my recipes will be from my Italian and Maltese heritage. I hope you can share them with your family and friends too. On today's episode, I'm going to be sharing a Pinsa Romana recipe, which is a mixture of a pizza and a focaccia mixed together. I hope you enjoy it. Today's episode with Pinsa Romana, you're going to need to leave your dough in the fridge for at least 24 hours and a maximum of 96 hours. So you'll need 600 grams of plain flour, 20 grams of corn flour, 30 grams of rice flour, 10 grams of salt, 20 mils of olive oil, and 3 grams of dry yeast. You're going to mix all the flours together in a pot. And you're also going to add the yeast to it. Okay, so now once your dough has been mixing for 8 minutes, we're going to add the salt to it. And you're going to add your 20 mils of olive oil. And you're going to mix for another 12 minutes. And in the meantime, you can pour your water slowly every time. So once all your dough has been kneaded for another 12 minutes, you're going to take the dough off your hook and you're going to let it rest for 30 minutes, except every 10 minutes you're going to let it work again for 1 minute. So make sure you've got a timer handy, time 10 minutes, and every 10 minutes you're going to work it for 1 minute until 30 minutes are up, and then you're going to cover it with a damp towel and put it in the fridge for 48 hours. So our dough's just come out of the fridge and it's been in there for 48 hours. It should look something a little bit like this. Super airy, super wobbly, like a bowl of jelly. And you want to make sure there's heaps of air bubbles to get it in. Now when you take it out, you're gonna put some oil on your hands and scoop it out from the sides. So it should look like this, really stringy and airy. I'm just gonna put it onto a floured surface. And we're going to cut it into 4 equal portions. Once you've got your dough into 4 equal portions, you're going to let them rest under a damp cloth for 2 hours. They're going to double in size, and then you'll come back, put them on an oiled tray, and put all your ingredients on them. Okay. While we're waiting for our dough to rise, we're going to prepare the ingredients that we want to put on our 4 Pinsa Romanas. So on one of them, we're doing prosciutto and with some rocket and mozzarella. And on another one, we're going to make a garlic, cheese and rosemary one. On another one, we're going to have Italian sausages, mozzarella and potatoes with rosemary. And on our last one, we're going to just do a plain margarita with buffalo mozzarella. So our dough has risen for another 2 hours on the bench, covered in a damp towel. You're going to get 2 trays and drizzle them with oil and then stretch your dough out on the oiled tray. Don't put any baking paper on the tray, just put them straight on the tray so it can cook underneath. So now we're going to stretch our dough to the very corners of our tray. Make sure you leave enough room for another dough to go next to it. We want to stretch it out so that it becomes a little bit thinner. So when we put it in the oven for 15 minutes, it's going to be really crispy underneath from the oil and it'll cook all the way through. So we're going to start on the second one and we're going to do the exact same thing. Put it all to the corners, make sure it's really stretching out. If they touch a little bit, it's okay, don't worry. they will both still cook through, but we want to make sure that they're stretched enough so that they'll cook through in only 15 minutes or 20 minutes, depending on your oven. Now we're going to do the same on the other tray. We're going to repeat it. Make sure that your tray is really oily because you don't want your dough to stick to the tray when you have to get it off. You got to stretch your doughs out again. If for some reason they're not wanting to stretch like this one right now, you can just flip it around and you can have this oily side up, especially if you're going to have an oily base anyway. You can do this and it will stretch a lot easier because you've taken the oil off from underneath a little bit. Don't worry, it'll still be crispy and it'll cook all the way through. Do it on your next one and you'll be almost ready to go. Okay, once you've stretched all your doughs out onto the trays, you're going to garnish them in whatever way you like. So we're going to have sausage and potato one, garlic and cheese. We're going to do a prosciutto and rocket one. And on this one, we're going to do a margarita with olives. I'm putting fennel sausage and hot sausage on this one. And it's going to have potato and some rosemary. And I'm just going to drizzle olive oil on top. Okay, on this one, I'm going to add oil, garlic, and mozzarella cheese. So spread the garlic. I just minced my garlic with my garlic mincer. I'm not going to put the mozzarella cheese on it yet because if I put it on yet, it's going to burn, and so I want to put it on in the last 5 minutes of the cooking time. So these two are done. On this one, they're both going to be tomato based. So you can use any passata or tomato sauce you like. So on this one, I'm going to put the mozzarella cheese. On this one, I'm going to put prosciutto on it. And I'm going to add the mozzarella cheese 5 minutes before it comes out of the oven and fresh rocket on top. And on the margarita, you have to add your basil. Don't forget, most important. Okay, once they're done, you're going to put them in the oven on 220 degrees Celsius fan forced for 15 minutes. Before 5 minutes to go before they come out, you can take them out and put your mozzarella on top on the ones you So 15 minutes is up. You're going to take them out of the oven, and on the ones that require mozzarella, I'm going to put the mozzarella on top and we're going to put them in the oven for 5 more minutes. So I'm going to add a little bit of mozzarella on my sausage and potato one, but you don't have to, and you can completely do whatever you like on anything you want to do. So put this one back in the oven for another 5 minutes. And on this one, I'm going to put my mozzarella on my prosciutto one. Now, with the prosciutto, you can have it also fresh, so you can just cook the base, if you like, with tomato, and then add fresh mozzarella and rocket and prosciutto at the end. I like my margarita cheesy, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Or just on the edges. And then they're going to go back in the oven for 5 more minutes. Okay, so I've put the pizzas in for another 5 minutes. They're ready to come out. I'm going to finish with drizzling them again with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to add fresh rocket to the prosciutto one. I'm going to add some rosemary onto my sausage and potato. You can cut it however you like. I'm going to cut it into quarters and serve it with some pasta.